Okay, 11 through 20. 1 through 10 is a separate video. 11 through 20, going to finish out our review for the final. Find the derivative of y equals 4e to the 3x. So we write 4e to the 3x. We take the derivative of the power. Okay, if y is e to the u, y prime is e to the u du. 3 times 4 is 12. Find the derivative of ln of something. Okay, so u is going to be cosine ln theta. So the derivative of cosine is negative sine. But we also have to take the derivative of the angle. The derivative of ln of theta is 1 over theta. Okay, so we have 1 over theta. Sine over cosine is tangent. And we have that negative. 13, find the derivative of y equals inverse sine of 4x. Okay, so if y is inverse sine of u is 4x, u prime is 4. So u squared is 16x squared. The formula is u prime over the square root 1 minus u squared. U prime is 4, u squared is 16x squared. Okay, 14. 1 over x cubed becomes x to the negative 3. 3x to the 5th is fine. The cube root of x squared becomes x to the 2/3, and 5 is fine. Okay, that's still in the integral symbol. Okay, so add 1 and divide. X to the negative 2 over negative 2. 3x to the 6 over 6. Okay, now 2/3 plus 3/3 is 5/3. Divide by 5/3 is multiply by 3/5. The integral of 5 is 5x. So we're going to, x to the negative 2 goes to the bottom. 3 over 6 is 1/2. Okay. 3x squared minus 2x, the integral, 3x 3 over 3, minus 2x 2 over 2 from 1 to 4. Okay, 3 over 3 and 2 over 2 are just 1. So we're just integrating x cubed minus x squared. Plug in 4. 4 cubed minus 4 squared. Minus, now remember parentheses, 1 cubed minus 1 squared. Well, that's 0. 64 minus 16 is 48. Okay. The integral of cosine of u is sine of u, but we need du. U is 5x, du is 5 dx. Kind of looked like a K. Let's just rewrite you. Okay, so I put in 5 and 1/5. The 5 dx is du, so that's cosine of u. So that integral of cosine is sine. So that's 1/5 sine 5x plus c. Okay, 17. I see a fraction. I know the derivative of sine is cosine. So if u is 1 plus 7x, du is 7 cosine x. I multiply a 7, multiply a 1/7. 7 cosine x is du. Du over u. The integral is ln. So that's 1/7 ln of 1 plus sine 7 sine x. 18, we're going to use integration by parts because we have two separate functions. Okay, that's always a good clue to use parts. Now, we can't integrate ln, so that has to be u. U is ln of x, so du is 1 over x dx. So dv is the 5x dx. To get v, you integrate, so 5x squared over 2. Okay, now the formula is u times v. U is ln of x, v is 5x squared over 2. minus the integral of v 5x squared over 2 times 1 over x dx. Okay, the first part I just brought the 5x squared out front. The integral part, the 5 over 2 came out. X squared over x is x. That's still in the integration symbol. I've only done algebra. Okay, now to integrate x, that's x squared over 2. The 2's on bottom multiply to equal 4. Okay, now 19. This is in the form du over 1 minus u squared. Okay, and the integral of that is sine inverse of u. Okay, so if u squared, that's u squared, equals 4x squared, u equals 2x, du is 2 dx. So I times in a 2 and a 1/2. 2 dx is du. 1 minus 4x squared is 1 minus u squared. Okay, so the integral of that, we've got our 1/2 outside, is inverse sine of u, and u is 2x. Okay, 20. Whenever you have an odd power for sine or cosine, you want to split that up. So sine cubed split up into sine squared times sine. The reason we do that is because sine squared equals 1 minus cosine squared. So the sine squared of 4x equals 1 minus cosine squared of 4x. Okay, now we distribute cosine squared times 1, cosine squared times cosine squared. Okay, we leave the sine 4x. Okay, if u is cosine 4x, du is negative 4 sine 4x dx. So I put in a negative 4, because I've got the sine, I just need negative 4, so negative 1/4 to balance. So the negative 4 sine 4x dx is all du. Cosine is u, so that's u squared minus u4. Okay, so integrate now, add 1 and divide. So I'll have u3 over 3 minus u5 over 5. Now u is cosine, so that's cosine cubed and cosine to the 5th. Okay, now I can plug in. Okay, leave that 1/4 outside. Okay, now is cosine 4x. So I'm putting pi over 2 in for x, so I've got to do 4 times pi over 2. Okay, so cosine cubed of 4 times pi over 2. Cosine to the 5th times 4 times pi over 2. Now when you plug in 0, 4 times 0 is still 0. Okay, now 4 times pi over 2 is 2 pi. 4 times pi over 2 is 2 pi. Okay, so I need to take the cosine of 2 pi. Okay, the cosine of 2 pi is 1. 1 cubed is 1. The cosine of 2 pi is 1. 1 to the 5th is 1. Okay, now minus parentheses. The cosine of 0 is also 1. 1 cubed is 1. Cosine to the 5th of 0, well, that's also 1. Okay, so I've got that negative 4th outside. 1/3 minus 1/5. Distribute that negative, so that's minus 1/3 plus 1/5. Well, 1/3 minus 1/3 and minus 1/5 plus 1/5 is 0. Okay, so 0 is your final answer. And that's the end of part 2.